Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the gathering place. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for those of you that are going and are joining me tonight. Thank you. Welcome to the gathering place. We're back for another week of empowerment. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As usual, when you enter the room, say hello, right? We were all taught that from our mamas. Don't walk in anybody's house, anybody's room without saying hi. So I want to say hi to you. So tell me where you're logging in from, what state, what city. Say hello so I can say hello back to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the gathering place. I'm excited about you all. Hello, hello, hello. And make sure type your name because sometimes it pops up as just Facebook user and we don't get a chance to see your name. And for some reason, that's something Facebook does. Hi, Andrea. Thank you for joining us. Good evening back to you. Dawn, thank you so much for joining us at the gathering place. Ignite Women. Hi, back to you. Hello, hello. Hey, Melissa, Missy, thanks so much for joining us. Hi, Elena from Denver, North Carolina. Thanks for joining us at the gathering place. That's my girlfriend. Hi from Sewell, New Jersey. It just says Facebook user, so let us know where you're from. Listen, start inviting people. Invite Bear, Delaware. Welcome, welcome. We're going to be in Delaware in November. Hey, Stephanie, thanks so much for joining us. Hey, Mom. Thanks for joining us from Georgia. Hi, Tamika from Maryland. Hello, Facebook user. Tell us your name. Hi, Michelle Brown. Thank you so much for joining us. Arizona. You should have came to see me then. Anyway, Crystal Torres. Thank you. Taneva from Oakland. I'm sorry if I said your name incorrectly. Paula from Delaware. Thank you so much for joining. New Jersey. Thank you. Listen, start inviting your friends. Hi, Linda. Start inviting your friends. Hit that little invite button. We have been, last week, we had 600 people join, or rather we had 600 members. This week we have over 700. Women have been joining all week long. Why? Because relationships is everything, right? Hi, Mika. Hi, Teresa. Thank you so much. Hi, Rosetta from Cape May. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, Danielle, Philly in the house. Thank you so much for joining us. Cape May, New Jersey. Thank you very, very much. Hi, Tracy from Maryland. Thank you so much for joining us. Rhonda from Conshohocken. Thank you for joining us. Tamika. Looks like she's tagging Tamika. That's right. Monica, thank you. Thank you, Tetra, for joining us at the gathering place. Malika from Blackwood, thank you. Yes, hi, Melanie. Thank you so much from New Jersey, joining us at the gathering place. Get those hearts going for me. Let me know that you love me. I'm letting you know that I love you. I'm excited about what God is doing. And I'm still going to wait for a couple more people to join before I jump into the announcements. We have some exciting things that are coming up in 2021, right? Who's ready? I am. First of all, I told a girlfriend today, I'm so sick of these masks because nobody gets to see my lip gloss, but y'all on Mondays. All right. So I'm over that. I've been over that. All right. I'm a lip gloss. I love putting on a cute lip and lip gloss, and I can't even do it. So I'm over it. Right. But we've got some exciting things that are coming up. Thank you, Taylorsville, North Carolina. Thanks, Stephanie. Yes, that's right. Tag your friends, invite them, hit the invite button, type their name in. And my ladies are standing at the door. They will let these women in. All you have to do is invite them. We will approve them and they will get to join us. So I want to jump right in because we got a lot to talk about. The first thing, hey, Karen, good to see you from New Jersey. Dominique, thank you. Tisha, thank you so much for joining us at the gathering place. I thank you so much for coming back, joining. If this is your first time, put in hashtag #1. You want to go back and see some of the other videos. Every single week, we're building on every week. And this is called Bible study. So we're going to get into the Bible. I believe that everything that God has for us, he has spoken about it. He has shown it to us either through a Bible character or through some message that he has spoken through his word in the Old Testament, or through Christ and his disciples in the New Testament. I believe that. So get your Bibles, get your pads, get your pens. We're ready. But before we do that, I want to share with you Ignite Women's Empowerment Summit 2021. Woo! Listen, if you have never joined us for a women's conference, I come back to New Jersey and Philadelphia in the Delaware area every year. I am hailing from right now, right outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm in Morrisville, North Carolina. I've been here for a couple of years, but my hometown, my roots is South Jersey. And so every year I come back because there's just a ton of women who are there. And we have been doing Ignite Women's Empowerment Summit in that area. This year, our theme is called The Surge. Yes. And we have a phenomenal lineup of women. We have Real Talk Kim, who is going to be one of our major keynote speakers. Some of our other keynotes is Pastor Joy Morgan, Karen Orlando, Pastor Raina Almeida. Our guest artists, JP Heath and Anton Milton. I tell you, if you have never heard of these men and these women who sing with them, I'm telling you, they're going to usher you right to heaven. And then we have workshops in every single area: business, profession, leadership, relationships. I'm really excited because God has given me a vision to speak to the total woman. So when you come to Ignite, you have a track. You can sign up for a business track or a leadership track or a professional track. And this year we are going to be doing teen girls. That's right. So if you have a teen girl between the age of 14 to 17, I believe that's the right age, 14 to 17, we want you to register them. Registration will be taking place in a couple of weeks for them. But we have opened registration tonight, last week, for you. And it's $75. That's a sale. So don't look for $75 next month because it ends March 31st. Okay, everybody type March 31st, it ends. I want you to go to www.ignitesummit.org/conf, CONF. Okay, and if you missed the last part, just go to ignitesummit.org. You will be able to get to the conference. Listen, $75 for 3 days. That's $25 a day. For all of these speakers, for everything that you're going to be getting, it's going to be amazing. And if we have time, I'll show you a promo clip at the end. Okay, so get those hearts going. We're jumping right in because it's relationship rehab. We need to rehab our relationships, girls. Yes, we do. Hi, Nita. Hi, Monica from Florida. Thank you for joining us. We need to rehab our relationships, and we'll be talking more about Ignite Women's Summit at the end. I want to jump right in. If you were with us last week, I'm telling you, it was fire. It was fire because I was even encouraged when God gave me the message about chasing our destiny and not our deficit. And he showed us in the scriptures in Genesis how God blessed Adam and Eve, and specifically how he blessed Eve literally with everything in the garden. He blessed her with everything in the garden. He told Adam and Eve that I want you to have dominion over the earth. So it went beyond the garden. She had dominion and authority in the entire earth realm. God also tells us and shows us in the book of Genesis, and we went through all these different scriptures on how he also gave them the promise and the commandment to increase and multiply, which means our original intention was for us to live in overflow. I need everybody type, I am expected to increase, right? So we were expected. We were born to prosper. We were born to increase, right? But there was just one thing that God left out. One thing. He said, out of everything I've given you, There's one thing that you cannot have, and it is the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And guess what? The devil did. The devil came and he caused her to focus on the one deficit, the one thing that God left out of her life, so much so that she made a life-changing decision that literally impacted her entire generation to this day. And what we talked about last week was how our deficits, how we make decisions and choices and we create relationships based on the one thing that God left out of our life. That one deficit, sometimes it may be more than one, but that one thing that's been missing, whether it's a father, whether it's feeling like you were supported, whether it felt like you grew up in a home, and we end up building our life on our deficits and not our destiny. I tell you, I can't go back to it. When God showed it to me, I went running around this house for real. I've been preaching and teaching for 20 years. When I tell you, I never saw that in the text, and God showed it to me, because as it relates to relationships and it relates to just our life and our thinking, we will focus on the one thing we do not have. And what's powerful is that God left it out on purpose, which means that when you were born, right, he knew you weren't going to have a father. He knew that there were certain things that you were not going to have, but he gave you the promise to increase anyway. So we're in part 2. And today we're going to talk about how to reassign our relationships. Because if I've built my relationships on my deficit, now that I know I built my relationship on the one thing I did not have in my life, I now have the power to reassign some folk. Okay, so I'm excited. Watch this. The deficits in your life create a vacuum. They create a vacuum in your life. That vacuum is insatiable. It demands to be filled every day. That there's a vacuum, there's a hole, as we say, in your soul. And it demands to be filled literally every single day. The problem is the people that we choose, the things that we choose to fill that vacuum in our life only creates a greater deficit. It only creates a greater deficit where things and people are now taking from me and they're not filling that hole. And because I'm now more empty than I was yesterday, I now have to go back to find somebody else or something else to try to fill this bigger hole. And the cycle goes on and on and on. Okay? And so we build our relationships on our deficits. Sometimes we build our careers on our deficits. We build assignments. We choose people. We make choices sometimes based on our deficits. If you ever want to know what your deficit is, watch this. God showed this to me. He said, Nikki, if you ever want to know what your deficit is, look at what you surround yourself by. Woo! Oh my goodness. I call this the law of manifestation. Nothing can show up outside of me that does not exist in me first. So when I've got broken assignments, I've got hurt and pain all around me, it's because of what was already in me. Everybody type law of manifestation. Nothing will show up outside of you that does not exist in you first. So when brokenness shows up outside of me in the form of relationships and pain and my own issues, it's because it already exists in me. Well, the opposite is when victory and favor and breakthrough begin to show up, it's because I'm already tapping into those things inside of me. And so if you want to know what your deficits look like, look at your relationships. Who is surrounding you? Is it people that's attached to your destiny? People who are challenging you to go to your destiny, or people based on your history? Are they people based on where you have been, or people who are based on where you are trying to go? And so I hear you. Some of you are saying, I don't have a whole bunch of friendships. I don't do women. That's the reason why I don't do women. I got something for you today, boo. Listen, You may say, I don't do a whole bunch of relationships, so I'm good. Well, not so fast. The question I have to ask you is, what does it say about you that you have so very few connections anywhere, right? When it was what our principal assignment on earth is. See, I've come to talk to every type of woman tonight. Because God has taken me through this journey and he is still working on me. He's still working on me. So tonight we're going to talk about the law of attraction. Why? Reassigning my relationships. Why do I keep attracting the same kind of folk? Why do I keep experiencing the same kind of results in my life? Am I by myself? If I'm not, do the hand emoji. Just say you ain't by yourself. I want everybody to do the hand emoji if you know what I'm talking about. Why? Why do I keep attracting the same kind of people, same kind of dudes, same situations? Every time I turn around, the same results begin to come up. And the enemy wants to tempt you with the conclusion that you shouldn't be in relationships with people, that women are just catty. This is why I don't have a whole bunch of friends around me, because women, they just messy. So I just like being by myself. Or this is the reason why I don't really be bothered with all those ministries and getting involved and volunteering. And, you know, when I'm at work, I just go to work and I come home. I can't be bothered with all those people. Why? Because in your mind, the enemy has convinced you that every time you try to connect, every time you try to get engaged, the same results show up. Well, here's what I want you to know. You are the common denominator. I never forget when the Lord showed that to me. One day I was like, you know what? This is why I don't like being bothered with people. They so petty. They not on my level. You know how we like to do. We like to do that. They not on my level. I'm anointed. I've been called. You know, I've been ordained. They not on my level. He says, but the problem is you are the common denominator. I had to start taking a look at myself. And so why do I keep bringing the same people in my orbit? Watch this. For me, I'm going to talk about me, because I promised God that I was going to be transparent. And I think it's a little easier to talk about me because we're going to go through some ouch moments tonight. So if anything hurts you and you got an ouch, you can just type it. You can just put it in and say ouch, right? I tend to attract people with a lot of issues. I tend to attract folk that need rescuing. And I would get on this cycle right now. And that makes partly sense. I'm gifted in counseling and in wisdom. And so my background is I was a therapist. I went to school for it. I was a social worker. So I tend to have those things within me where when someone's hurting, when they're going through, I just avail myself, right? So there's nothing wrong with that on one level. But for me, right, I went beyond just availing myself and really just trying to encourage and empower people. I had to rescue them. And so I would get on this cycle, right? I want all the rescuers. Don't leave me in the room by myself. I would get on this cycle and I would overextend myself. I would give them advice. I would give them money. I would give them rides. I would pick them up. I would take them shopping. You know, I would buy food. I would buy clothes. I would be like, oh my God, do you need your child to be picked up from school? I did all of those types of things only to find out that everything that I did, everything that I tried to give them, they would piss it back out again. Sorry if that offends somebody, but it's the truth. I would pour all of this oil in their life, pour all of this energy and time and everything that I had, only to find out they were never interested in getting better. And so now I would get mad, shut down, literally kick them out of my life, completely shut down on them, right? We call that re-victimizing the victim. I would re-victimize them because now I'm like, oh my God, you just draining me and you're so ungrateful, right? And then I would shut down on them and then go through a time when I don't want to help nobody, only to start the cycle all over again. Somebody type all over again. All over again. Sound familiar? Come on, rescuers, don't leave me in this room by myself, right? So that was me. I just attracted those same kind of people. And then I have a tendency to attract nobody. Just kind of be a loner, right? If I wasn't dealing with somebody who needed to be rescued, I wasn't connecting with anybody. And so the law of attraction begins to tell us this. We're talking about relationship rehab, right? We're talking about rehabbing our relationships and really reassigning our relationship. We're talking about this tonight. And so the law of attraction, which is something that I believe we see in Genesis, and we're getting ready to see this. People, if you've ever studied the law of attraction, it says you attract who you are. I believe that. But I like to go a step further, and I want you to write this down in your notes. You will attract what you advertise. Oh, I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say that again. You will only attract what you advertise. Let's go to the scripture. Genesis chapter 2. Let's look at it. We looked at it last week. The Lord God said, everybody grab your Bibles. Genesis chapter 2. It says 2:18. The Lord God said, it is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. Verse 19. Now the Lord God had formed out of the ground all the wild animals, all the birds in the sky. He brought them to the man to see what he would name them. And whatever the man called each living creature, that was its name. So the man gave names to all the livestock, the birds in the sky, and all the wild animals. But for Adam, no suitable helper was found. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. And while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs and then closed up the place with flesh. And then the Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. The man said, this is now bone of bone and flesh of flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man. Now, if you were with us last week, and even if you weren't, you go back, go watch the video, right? God brings Eve to Adam. And what I've learned is that the part that I present is the part that people gravitate to. The first thing that Adam identified about Eve was her bone. And last week, we broke down the word bone is a type in the Bible. We call it a type. It's a type of strength. Whenever bones are represented in the Bible or spoken about in the Bible, it is a sign of strength. And whenever flesh is mentioned in the Bible, it's a type of weakness or humanity, right? So what's powerful is that when Eve showed up, he saw her strength and he saw her weakness. He didn't see one or the other. He saw both and called her woman. She was a complete package, which means she didn't show up acting like she had it all together, but she also didn't show up acting like she's so weak, she need a man, she can't never do nothing, right? And so what was I advertising? This is the question you got to ask yourself. What do I advertise when I show up? Oh, my goodness. What do I advertise? You attract what you present. You attract what you advertise. And so let me tell you what I was advertising. The reason people were running to me is because I advertised that I got it going on. I don't need nobody. I'm great. Y'all the ones that got all the issues. That's what I was advertising. Every time I showed up, brick wall. You wasn't going to get a whole lot of energy from me, a whole lot of smiling. And, you know, when people ask me, how you doing? Oh, the favor of God is just running down my life. And that's what you used to get when you used to come talk, connect with me, right? It was always Bible. It was always scripture. And so I was advertising that I didn't need anybody. because I had so many people in my life fail me, disappoint me, tell me they were going to show up, support. I had people in my life who had rejected me, hurt me, that I had finally put this wall up, and I made this promise to myself that I was never going to allow anybody to come in again. So I'm building off of my deficit. My deficit being I didn't feel supported. I didn't feel visible in the room. So when I showed up in the room, I made sure that nobody, come on, are you following me? And so what was my marketing strategy? We talking about advertising, right? When I decided that I didn't want to have a lot of connections, and I want to tell you something, I didn't decide this consciously. I didn't just wake up one day and say, I'm never going to talk to people. I'm just never. Some of us may do that, right? But subconsciously, that became what I started advertising, right? That I don't need you. I don't need you. I'm straight. I'm a strong Black woman. You know how we like to do. I'm strong. I got it all going on. You know, I've been through so much in my life that can't nobody really break me down. You know, I do all of that, right? And so what was my marketing strategy? What was my marketing strategy? I'd walk in a room and not say hi to nobody. I walk in the room and I act like, you know, my face, I had the resting itch face. And I didn't say it, y'all, because some of y'all like, oh, did she say it? I didn't say it, but you know what I'm talking about. My mama used to tell me all the time, fix your face. I had that mean girl look. Oh, we haven't even started talking about mean girls. That's what we're going to talk about next week. Come on, somebody type relationship rehab. I had the mean girl look, like you crossed me twice. You're going to be sorry. You're going to be missing a leg. Okay. And so I had built up this marketing strategy, right? So who did I attract in those days, in those moments when I walked in the room acting like I didn't know and I didn't need anybody? You know who I attracted? No one. Nobody wanted to engage. No one really wanted to invite me out to the barbecues. People said hello. When I was, you know, back in New Jersey and I had prestige and I had this level of status in the former church, people said hello because they respected my title, but they never got to know who I really was because I kept the wall up. And so when you walk in the room, what are you advertising? Mm-hmm. Are you advertising that you are the yes girl? Right? And what does that mean? That means that every time somebody needs something, I do it. Oh, yes, I can do it. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, yes. So has that been your marketing strategy? So now when you got the nerve to say no, folk get mad at you. Mm-hmm. Are you advertising that you are the invisible one? I just like being in the background. I don't really like being in the front, but you got gifts, you have talent. You know, God has given every single one of us a voice. I'm not saying you got to be loud and no preacher, but God did not create you to go sit in the back and be invisible. I'm sorry. If he wanted you to be invisible, he would have never sent you here to earth. I don't really like to and so what are you advertising? Are you advertising that you're the one with all the drama? How do you do that? Because you're always offended at something. I need everybody to type out. How are you always offended at something? You find offense in everything, in every conversation, right? And it'll start off something like, oh, you look cute today. And they like, and you start to say, what about yesterday? I was cute yesterday, so you ain't like my hair yesterday. All of a sudden, you just offended. Anybody know people like that? Don't type your name. Just say, I know people like that. What are you advertising? What's your brand? What do we know you for? People knew me to be untouchable. People knew me to be a woman that was unpersonable, not transparent, not open, not friendly, couldn't smile at anybody. And let me tell you something. Law of attraction, rule 1. Everybody type this out. You will only attract what you advertise. When I see women that don't have a whole bunch of friends, I mean, you barely have any. I mean, you got a couple folk, but you really don't have any deep, strong relationships. I'm not saying you gotta have 20 friends. I'm not saying that because that's not realistic. Well, I'm going to show you a sample today about how we're going to reassign our relationships. But when I see a woman who really struggles in relationship, I realize her advertisement is telling folk, stay away from me. I don't trust you. I don't trust people. I don't trust women. You know, I know she's a woman that struggles with other females or maybe even other males, right? What is your brand? How do you advertise yourself? Sometimes it even shows up in the way that we dress. I talk about me. When I was in my marketing mode of I don't need nobody, girl, listen, my clothes, the stuff I used to wear, you'd have thought I was a nun. It was from here all the way down to my ankles, okay? You didn't know if I even had a body underneath it. I used to dress as if it was 50 degrees, 30 degrees out. I mean, it had to be. It was so conservative. And so when I walked into the room, you know what? My brand, without me even saying a word. So imagine, I'm coming in, and y'all already know some preachers already look like stuff stink, right? That was me. I come in like trying to act all deep, right? And let me tell you something. So here's rule number 2. Let me tell you the result. You then treat people, or you teach people how to treat you. When you advertise and market your brand, you teach people how to treat you. So, you know what I was teaching people? Don't connect with her. You're not going to have a pleasant experience. Now, mind you, I wanted to be in relationship with people, but everything that I was expressing was saying just the opposite. You teach people how to treat you. What does that mean? So when I taught people I don't need nobody, guess what? They didn't come checking for me. Oh my goodness. I want to talk to the women tonight. You are frustrated and mad because it feels like you are always checking for folk, right? You're checking in. You okay? You good? You need anything? And guess what? Ain't nobody checking for you. Nobody's calling to see how you doing. Nobody's saying, hey, I heard that you lost your job. You good? Oh my goodness, I heard that you got some new promotion. Or just to say, hey sis, I was thinking about you. I'm checking for you. Nobody, right? And so you get on that phone and you're like, I'm so sick of folk. I'm so tired of always being there for everybody else and ain't nobody there for me. You want to know why they're not there for you? Because you taught them you don't need nobody. How did I teach them that? Because this is how we teach people we don't need anybody. We show up, and when folks start to say, you good? Girl, I'm fine. Ain't nothing, I'm good. Ain't nothing going on with me. I'm straight. The Lord is my light and we start doing all that spiritual talk and jargon that means nothing, right? We teach people that they can't be vulnerable with us. So when they compliment you and say, oh my God, you are so beautiful. I love what it is. You're like, girl, this whole thing, this ain't nothing. We brush them off. Why? Because it makes us uncomfortable. We're not used to somebody celebrating us. So guess what? Nobody's gonna celebrate you. Because that's what you advertise. You teach people how to treat you. If you are a rescuer, you will only attract people who need to be rescued. Lord have mercy. If you are a woman who's tight and really struggles with affection and being open and honest and loving on other people, you will only attract other cold folk. So when you want to engage, there will be nobody around you to engage you, to say, go girl, I love it. Oh my God, you are so beautiful. Oh my God, I love everything about you. No, because you've already taught them. I don't like all that. You want to know how? You taught them that because when they do it, you brush them aside, and you taught them that because you don't give it. Let me just talk about me. I was talking about me because I know this is tight. But come on, we're in relationship rehab. This is what the Lord started dealing with me about. I remember I was just getting mad. Like, they always passing me over for a promotion. I remember I was at my job years ago. Never could get a promotion. Couldn't get one. You want to know why? Because I taught my job that I'm not flexible. I taught my job, you ain't going to have me working extra whole bunch of hours. How much is that? Am I getting overtime? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not doing that. So guess what? When the promotion came, and people were sitting at the boardroom table, my name came up, but it got passed over. Because I taught them I'm not flexible. I taught people that when it's time to check on me, you're not going to really get the truth. I'm not going to be honest with you. I'm not going to be vulnerable. So guess what? They're not coming to check on you, boo, because you taught them. Ain't going to be nothing you're going to get back. Don't bother. She good. Whenever when you advertise and market your strength all day long, and let me tell you something, I'm not telling you not to tell your testimony. I am not saying to you that you should not talk about the goodness of God, but your whole life ain't good every day. Every day. Let's talk about the stuff that's broken, going wrong. I'm not telling you even to tell everybody. But what I'm telling you is that we cannot show up different than Eve. Eve showed up strength and weakness. He understood, whoo, there's a depth, there's a substance to that chick, but she's got some flesh to her too. There's some humanity. And so there are 3 types of people that you attract in your life. 3 types. I want you to get your pen and pad out, right? We're talking about reassigning our relationship. So when I started realizing that I have attracted folk in my life that don't check for me, that don't connect with me, that really can't celebrate me. Number 1, I had to start to change, because you can only attract what you present, and you can only attract what you are. So don't get twisted. If you a mean girl, you only gonna be rolling with the mean girls. You're not gonna attract nice people if you mean. So I had to start doing some inner work. And it just started with me, literally, baby steps, baby steps. I just had to start smiling at folk I didn't know. I mean, that to me felt so asinine. Can I just talk real? Like, why I got to come in and baby? I mean, come on. You know, I know I'm a nice person, but nobody else knows that. And guess what? We don't know your heart because God ain't telling us. So all we can go by is how you show up. So how are you showing up every single week? And I had to learn small baby steps to just walk in a room and smile at strangers that I didn't know. Now, y'all know when we in the North, we don't do that up there. Now, down south, child, they just be touching on you. Hi, honey. So glad God changed me before I moved down here. I would have had a problem. I had to learn how to just give people hugs. Tell people love you. Say, oh my God, I love your hair. Oh, you look so pretty today. I had to learn how to start being generous with my mouth. And instead of just looking at women up and down like, she all right. I mean, I'm cute too. I had to learn. And so I started baby steps because God started showing me I cannot elevate you to increase because you keep attracting the same kind of people and getting the same kind of results in your life. And I didn't know at the time that God had birthed and blessed me with a women's ministry. You couldn't have told me that. I would have said, yeah, right. I don't even like women. But he did. And so he had to start baby steps, just saying hi to people, giving people hugs, talking with people. I didn't want to talk to anybody, but that came from my deficits and not my destiny. And so there are three types of people you attract in your life. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Everybody type relationship rehab. This relationship rehab. We're gonna talk about the men and all of that, but we gotta deal with us, right? Because you teach people how to treat you. Let me go back to that. Some of y'all are trying to enter the season called no. If that's you, I want you to type, it's my season to tell folk no. Just type that in, right? Some of you all are trying to enter that season, but you taught people for so long that yes was your favorite word. It was your favorite word in the dictionary, that now folk got an attitude because you trying to reclaim your power. But I want you to not get so caught up in their response. I need you to embrace the fact, this is what I've taught them. I taught them that I don't believe in the word no. I taught them that yes was my favorite word. So now I need to reassign some folk in my life and switch them out. And I'm about to show you. Watch, there's three types of people that get attracted to your life. The first type of person is called the associate. The associate. Everybody write that down, right? Put it in your notes. The associate. This is the individual, I'm going to just say woman, it could be a man, but this is the woman in your life who you guys are only joined together because there's a common cause. You are connected because of circumstance. You're on the same ministry teams. You're in the same organizations. You're working in the same department. You've got family ties, right? So that we're calling them associates, right? We're associated by a common theme or common bond. That's number one. Number two, you have allies. Allies are two individuals that don't necessarily love each other, but they're in the same struggle, right? They've agreed to kind of put their differences off to the side so that we can get to the same place. We see this in politics, right? We start to ally, they start to ally with one another because they've got to get a common goal done. They've got to try to pass this bill. Well, we have friends that are like allies, right? And we don't really necessarily like each other. And I'm going to break down what type of ally this person is in your life. But we don't necessarily, I probably wouldn't go to the mall with them, but we're joined, right? We're in the same fight. We're in the same struggle. And an ally is somebody that once we get to where we need to go, I'm good, you good, we good, okay, straight. And then there's the advocate. So the first one is associate, the second one is an ally, and the third one is an advocate. An advocate are your confidants. They are your ride or die women, besties. They in it with you to the end, till the wheels fall off. They have seen you at your worst. They have seen you at your best. They're going to tell you the truth. They're going to be like, girl, don't wear your hair like that no more. Never, ever again. Never again wear your hair like that again. And I love you, right? How many of us have those type of women in our life, right? Advocates, right? They are joined to you for you. And they will publicly support and endorse you. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But they are joined to you for you. And they are for what you are for. Watch this. And they are against what's against you. These are your advocates, your ride or die folk, right? And so let's back up, because every group, we've got associates, allies, and advocates. And each group has their own issues. And we're going to have to start reassigning some folk. But let's understand, we've got to identify who they are. But here's the problem with associates, right? Associates are the women in your life who are joined to you for a common cause, but they're not really there for you. They're there for the cause. They're there because of circumstance. They're there in your life because they're related to you. They've got the same last name. So here's the problem with the associate, which many of you have probably figured out. The problem is the moment the cause changes, so does the connection. Oh my goodness. The moment the relationship or whatever that tied us together changes, so does the connection. I've got a great example. About 6-7 years ago, the Lord decided he was going to unravel me from this huge ministry that I was a part of and had been a part of for 20 years. I was a pastor at a very large church. I was the pastor of women, the pastor of families. I ran our counseling department for over 10 years. And that women's ministry went from 0 to 100 in those 10 years. And there were so many women that became a part of my ministry. And when it was time for me to go, they had this huge party for me. Some of you watching were there, right? They had this huge party, and every woman had to get up and talk about their experience with me. And I want to tell you, every woman got up, and this is what they said. Reverend Nikki, I don't care where you go. I'm going to support you. I am there for you. I love you. You did so much for me. And girl, the moment I got on that plane and moved to Kentucky, I ain't heard from half of them since. And I'm gonna tell you something. I was offended. I was hurt because I knew some of those women, I had counseled them for free. I had sat up on the phone and gave them all kinds of advice. I had ran to their rescue because that's what I advertised. And all of a sudden, the moment the cause changed, see, I'm no longer a part of the cause that they were in. I'm no longer tied to them, right? And this isn't just girlfriends. I had some family members. Listen, I'm going to say this to you. Just because you're related don't mean you connected. Oh, I just freed somebody right there. Because see, we like to say, but that's my sister. We got the same last name. That don't mean nothing. Because the moment, whatever y'all are connected to, whatever happens, if the family breaks down, all of a sudden the cause has changed and now so has the connection. Everybody type, and she's an associate. I know you got some folk like that. Right? They're not really joined to you. They're joined to what you're joined to. And the moment you're no longer joined to that cause, or you're no longer tied to that organization or that thing that you're doing, right? All of a sudden, they don't know your name no more. That's number one. Let me tell you what the problem with the ally is. The problem with the ally is allies are your gossip buddies. Oh, my goodness. This is so good. I'm telling you. Allies are your gossip buddies. You know, they mad at what you mad at. Everybody hate Miss Tina on the job. Everybody. So at break time, y'all go in there. Y'all be talking about Miss Tina. Y'all talk about the boss. Y'all talk about the supervisor, right? Everybody mad at the ministry head, the supervisor. They mad at what you mad at. You mad at your ex, your baby daddy. They mad at their baby daddy, right? So your allies in a struggle, a common struggle, so to speak, right? And so here's the thing. Allies look for those who help build their argument and help build their platform or their soapbox. And so they're not really in it for you either. They're in it for what you can do for them. They're in it because you got struggle, I got struggle, you single, I'm single. We got to go out here and get ourselves somebody together. But watch this. The problem is they not going to have your back like your advocate's going to have your back, right? They may be talking about somebody else with you, but the moment you're no longer in their presence, they will throw you under the bus because that's what helps them in the moment. Oh my goodness. Allies are fighting what you're fighting, and they're with it as long as it prospers them. And so this is what I like to say. Once they can no longer profit from your pain, they don't want to talk to you no more. Oh my goodness. Listen, this is how you know You have an ally in your life. When all of a sudden you don't want to talk about her no more. You're like, girl, I'm over it. You know, God is healing me. They're like, ugh. Okay, all of a sudden you so much better than everybody, right? All of a sudden you get a promotion on the job and they mad at their supervisor and you're like, hey, me and her have settled our differences. But now all of a sudden they can't be bothered with you. Everybody type, she's an ally. She is an ally. They are fighting for you until it no longer profits them. Associates, allies. And so watch this. Here's the problem with the advocate. Remember, advocates, your ride or die. Advocates in it, they're for you. They are in it for you. If you told them I'm going to the moon, they like, okay, I'm scared of heights, but how we getting there? How we rolling? Tell me, right? And so advocates, however, watch this. The problem with the advocate is advocates will tell you the rock gut truth, whether you like it or not, because they know you for you. They've seen you at your worst. They've seen you at your best. They are joined to you for you. They will publicly endorse you, which basically means they're not going to act like your bestie in private, but when they get in public, they like, she all right. No. See, and then this is a little bit of how I roll, right? They are against what's against you. See, I'm the type, if me and you friends, and I'm friends with somebody else, and y'all have issues, I'm like, hold it. Until y'all get this straight, we gonna work to figure this out. If you met me and you besties, and somebody doing something to you, I'm like, where's she at? I'm rolling my eyes at them too, right? I'm like, they make me sick. They ain't even do nothing for me. But that's because I'm an advocate. They against you, I'm against. If they against you, I'm against them. They don't like you, okay, I don't like them either. Okay, and so we have a tendency, however, this is what we do with our advocates. This is where we get in trouble, girls. We have a tendency to demote our advocates when they begin telling us and getting involved in our life to telling us the truth. Oh my gosh. They'll start saying, girl, I love you, but he ain't the one. I'm just telling you right now, you wrong. You wrong on so many levels for cussing her out like that. I'm sorry. You need to get your life right. See, and all of a sudden, the advocate gets real quiet. Anybody ever experience that? You tell your good friend the real truth, and you're like, baby girl, listen, I'm for you. But all of a sudden, they just go quiet. They go dark. You like, I ain't heard from Tina in like, dang, I mean, she ain't called me ever since I told her, she shouldn't treat her kids like that. And so here's what happens. This is how we get things jacked up. We start to demote the advocate and promote the associate. Oh gosh. See, and this is how we mess ourselves up. We have a hard time knowing the difference between all three because all three of them can exhibit the same behavior. Oh, I hope you're getting this. God had to show this to me years ago. He had to show me that your associate can act like an advocate. Your allies definitely can act like an advocate. All three of them will say, I got your back, I'm with you. All three of them will act like they're on your side. They love you. They'll support you. They'll show up for you, right? But the problem is we promote people in our life in the wrong place. So we misappropriate our assignment. We misappropriate them in the wrong assignment. What does that mean? We downgrade the right people and upgrade the wrong people. Oh my goodness. I'm going to say that again because some of y'all missed that. This is what we do. We downgrade the right people and we promote the wrong people. So we take the advocate she gonna be with you to the end, right? She done seen you with your hair unweaved. She done seen you when you wanted this new hairstyle and you tried it out and it didn't work out, but she was like, you still my girl. She done seen you at your worst, your best. She's ridden with you through hell, high water. She was with you when you wasn't making magic. You ain't had no money, right? She's with you in the highs, the lows, whether you got a name, whether you don't, whether you're on unemployment, whether you're on the stage, whether you're not on the stage. And we will downgrade the advocates in our life and upgrade the associates and the allies, and we will put them in the wrong place. We will take the wrong people and put them in the right assignment. And we will take the right people and put them in the wrong assignment. And so this is me. This is me. I had been hurt by so many people. And I remember this pivotal moment in my life. I had left New Jersey and I was feeling very bitter about certain people who I didn't feel supported my move. Bitter. Like, dang, Never, you know what? I mean, that was like, I ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't better not call me. You know, I'm doing all of that. And one day, the Lord allowed me, this is what I love about God. He allowed me to be angry for about a good 6 months. And one day God said to me, what are you upset about? I've heard this conversation and I was mad. I was like, because they said this and they did this and I did everything for them. I showed up. I did this for them. I did that, blah, blah, blah. And he asked me, he said, when you got into a relationship with this person, what were you after? And I remember saying, I wanted this person to be a mentor. And God said, they fulfilled their assignment. You promoted them to a place that was beyond their anointing. Oh my God. Woo! I'm going to say that again. Woo! I don't know who's listening. But I reassigned a relationship, watch this, that did not have the capacity to operate the way I wanted them to. I have folk that hurt me, but it was not their fault. It was my fault. You want to know why? Because I anointed them for the wrong assignment. Oh, I need everybody tonight to type, do not anoint the wrong assignment, right? Do not anoint people for the wrong assignment. Do not anoint people. I anointed them for the wrong assignment in my life. I promoted them to a place that they did not have the capacity to fulfill. I upgraded them. I have folk in my life that I upgraded in my life because we had the same last name. That's my family. No, they're not. They got the same last name, but y'all ain't got no connection. Oh, I don't know who I'm talking to. Watch this. We anoint people for positions that they are not interested in fulfilling. Ooh, I'm going to say that again. We anoint people. We appoint people for positions that they never agreed to. We give them secret assignments to fulfill in our head. Why do we do this? Because we qualify somebody on their gift, but not on their capacity to give. Oh, I'm going to say that again. Do not qualify somebody on their gift. Check to see if they can give. Oh, I'm going to say it again. We anoint people. We choose people based on their potential. He got so much potential to be a good man, but we're not checking for the fruit, right? We anoint people for their gift. We qualify them because we think they're such a great person. They're so nice. Me and her, we talked on the phone for like 25 hours. I mean, she gets me. And all of a sudden, we move her into advocate role when she probably should stay as an associate. Okay, we qualify people on their gift, not on their ability or their capacity to give. How do I know they have a capacity to give? You got to sit and wait around for a little bit and watch that fruit. Let me see. Let me see how generous they are with compliments. Let me see if they like to celebrate other people. Let me see if she's with me because I got a nice car, or because I helped her out, or she with me because she's really checking for me. She really cares about my soul. We upgrade people so fast. We promote them. They're like, bam, you get a car. You get to be my bestie. What did they do to be your bestie? And so we got to reassign some folk, girls. We got to reassign some folk. We have downgraded the wrong people. Some of you had some real good folk that wanted to come into your life and really plug into you, but you was advertising the wrong thing, and you upgraded the wrong people and put them in assignments that they were not anointed for in your life. That's what God told me. He said, you appointed them in a place that I have not anointed them for you. And so how do I start to reassign? Because we got to close out on this, right? The moment someone reveals, oh, God showed this to me. He said this to me. The moment somebody reveals where they belong in your life, your assignment is to keep them there. I'm going to say that again. The moment somebody shows you, I need everybody to type that. When you show me who you are and where you belong, I'm going to keep you there. Oh, what does that mean? If they reveal that they are an acquaintance, if they reveal to you that they are just an associate to you, they don't get to have best friend privileges. If they have been a mentor, mentor is somebody, they come, they encourage you, they give you some information, they give you a little bit of wisdom, right? That's a mentor. If they have been a mentor, stop upgrading them to be a spiritual father or a spiritual mother. If they have shown you that they're an ally, stop calling them, that's my sis. That's my sis. I know that's right. What have they done to be a sister to you? What? You cannot go by who people pretend to be or what they've shown you, because allies and associates and advocates can all act in the same way. They all have the same behavior. You know how you know what they are? When the shift begins to happen. Oh, I didn't curse. I really didn't. But I need everybody to type shift happens. And when the shift in your life begins to happen, that is when you begin to realize who's advocating for you in the spirit and in the natural. That's when you begin to understand you just an associate. You're only with me for the cause. You're only with me when it works out for you, right? But true advocates, true intercessors, true midwives are going to be there with you all the way through. So the question is, how do I reassign people in my life? Here's the question. Who have they been so far? Oh, see, folks are going to show you where they belong. When somebody shows you where they belong, keep them there. They belong as a mentor. They not your best friend. They belong as a sister. Stop putting them and downgrading them into the ally pile because you don't like how they tell you the truth. Who have they been? Not who you want them to be. That's what the Lord, when he started dealing with me, I was bitter and I was angry. And he said, who has this person consistently been in your life? What fruit did they present? How did they market themselves? What did they show you? Like, well, they showed me that they just really wanted to be kind of a mentor. Exactly. And that is who you should have left them to be. You wanted them to be something more, right? Some of you are dating guys. You're in relationships. And they've got the potential to be a husband. But what have they shown you? Have they been a good boyfriend? Some guys are only boyfriend material, not husband. What have they shown you? Not what you want them to be, and not if I could just keep working on them. No. When somebody shows you, I want you to type this. When they show me where they belong, I'm going to leave them there. I need everybody to type that. If you show me where you belong, I'm going to leave you there. If you show me you belong outside of my life, I promise you, I'm going to leave you there. I was just talking to a girlfriend. Actually, I was talking to my daughter. And I told my daughter, let me help you with something. You ain't nobody's light switch. And she's not talking to me right now. Let me help you with how this works out, okay? What's not going to happen is you don't get to come in my life, turn the light on, and you my friend today, and now you going through something, and now you turn the light off, and you can't be bothered with me, and now nobody can find you, you're not answering texts and calls, and now when it works for you, no ma'am, you are nobody's light switch. You don't get to come in and out of my life turning the light off and on. No, ma'am. So what you've taught me is you don't belong in the room. Oh, I hope you're getting this. Everybody type relationship rehab. I'm in relationship rehab. Stop giving away free upgrades to people who have not, watch this, earned the right to extended access. I had to learn that as somebody in the ministry, as somebody who was being put on stages, somebody who had, a little bit of influence. I had to realize that not everybody who was coming around me, who was saying, oh my God, I love you, Reverend Nikki. It's not that they really love me. They love what I'm doing. And I had to stop taking so much of it to like, oh, they're like my best friend. Because I didn't have best friends when I was growing up. That's my sister, because I didn't have sisters. I had a whole bunch of crusty brothers, and I always wanted a sister in my life. So every woman who came in, who I thought showed me sisterly qualities, I upgraded them to be a sister. When she showed me she ain't a sister, she ain't an advocate, she's an associate. Leave her in the associate realm. Watch this. I have a sample I want to show you. Let's put that up on the screen. This is, I want everybody to get out a sheet of paper. I want everybody to get out a sheet of paper. And I want you to draw 3 circles. Make it 4. 4 circles. Right? And this is what your life is supposed to look like. I did this with my daughter. I drew this circle with her. In the middle of that circle is you, right? Look at that orange dot. That's you. That circle's real small. The next circle, which is gray, are your advocates. If you notice, you only got about 3 dots in there. You want to know why? Because that section right there is the intimate place. You only got about 2 or 3. These are your dream builders. These are the women that they know how to stick and stay, right? And so you're not going to have a whole lot of people in the advocate space. You're not. If you are getting 3 or 4 or 5, you're doing real good. But you're not going to have a lot of people in the advocate space. And then in the yellow spot, you've got associates. Now, the reason they're surrounding you is because you need associates in your life. Those associates are aligned to your today goals. They're your volunteers in your organization, in your ministry. You need associates. They're with you for the cause. But baby, don't build 5-year plans on them. Lord have mercy. I'm going to say it again. Don't build 5-year plans on them, right? They are the scaffolding in your life. They're the beta blessing, right? And so those are your associates. You're going to have more associates, but look at the allies. You need allies. They're the farthest away from you, but you still need them. They fight the same enemy that you fight. You need allies. But girl, don't put them in your wedding. Because the moment you tell them what dress they got to wear, they not coming. They not coming. Thank you very much. And so everybody else, we put that back up there, just small, right off to the side. Everybody else outside that circle, outside the blue circle, those are folk who you know them because you know them by their name. You saw their faces, right? Everybody else goes on the outside. Everybody else. And I want you to know something. The moment that I reassign my relationships, you change the oil flow. Oh my goodness. You change the oil flow. You change the flow of the oil in your life. And so I realized that there are some women that I got to put in the associate and in the advocate. And then there's some that just they allies, and some they not even in the circle, girl. I just know them. I see them in the hey girl, how you doing? You ain't nowhere near what I got going on. But the moment that I started changing the assignments in my life, right? I took back the power of my expectation. Oh, I stopped getting so hurt all the time. You want to know why? Because if an associate and an ally acted like they didn't want to be with me, I was like, I expected that out of you. Oh, let me tell you something. I got volunteers right now. Every year, I sit them down and say, hey, you with me this year? At the end of the year, when Ignite Women's Summit is over and all of our activities, I never assume that an associate or an ally is going to ride with me into the sunset. Oh, I need everybody. If you are an employer, if you are a pastor, if you are a leader, you need to realize that your employees and volunteers are not necessarily your ride or die advocates. So stop getting mad when folks say, I feel the Lord moving me to something different. Praise the Lord. What can I do to help you? Right? Because I was not expecting you to be an advocate or ride or die anyway. I already put you in that circle as an associate. The moment I started changing my assignments, my life began to rise. Oh, this is my last point. I no longer had anybody holding me down and pulling me down. I had the right people in the right place and in the right position. And I was pouring my oil in places that was going to pour it back on me. Oh, I don't know where you are. I am finished for tonight. And this is your homework assignment. I want you to draw those circles. And I want you to reassign your relationships. Here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to type in this chat who your advocate is. Your ride or die. If you got 4, 5, 6 of them, type their names. Say they with me. And I'm not saying that associates and allies are horrible people. Put them in the right place in your life. And stop expecting things out of them that A, they didn't agree to, and B, they're not anointed for. Woo. Thank you. That's all I have for you tonight. I pray that this week, that's right, oil change. That's right. I got to do an oil change. I got to stop the flow of oil going in the wrong direction. I want to thank you. Remember, Ignite Women's Empowerment Summit, $75, 3 days. It ends, that promotion ends on the 31st. Go to www.ignitesummit.org/conference. Need one of my team members to type that in the chat, right? www.ignitesummit.org/conf, CONF. I want you to know we're going to have an amazing time at Ignite Women's Empowerment Summit. It's going to be November the 4th through the 6th at the Chase Center in Wilmington, Delaware. That's right. We're coming back in the area. 3 good full days. We're having a fashion show. We're having a VIP power networking luncheon. We're hoping to have a glam suite. We have tons of vendors, over 20 to 30 vendors. We always have them. They're selling phenomenal products. We have workshops in business, relationship, professional development, in your life, leadership. We are going to have something for teen girls this year. That's right. We've got to turn around and we've got to grab the next generation. They're going through, y'all. We've got Real Talk Kim that's coming. If you don't know her, please go check her out. We've got Pastor Joy Morgan, Pastor Raina Almeida. We've got JP Heath, Anton Milton, Karen Orlando, myself, and a whole host of workshop presenters. And I want you to know that these women are coming with the fire. So let's see if I can put this up here on the screen. There we go. If you right here, if you want to go to Ignite, I want you to check out our website, go register. Our promotion of $75 ends on the 31st. You will not see that price for a nice while. Why? It costs money. So I want to thank you all for coming and joining me for Relationship Rehab. And I want you to invite a sister friend. That one that's always on your phone. Talk about, so she made me sick. Every time I turn around, she always got something going on. Look, put those dates up there for me if you can. November the 4th through the 6th. I want you to invite another girlfriend to join us at the gathering place. Why? We got to get there together. I thank you. I love you. And I will see you so soon. And until then, know that you are more. God bless you.